My name is Marjo Dessureau, and I'm an integrated pest management consultant with ES Crop Consult. Welcome to the basics of crop pest monitoring for small to medium scale vegetable producers. Here we will walk you through how to identify a few key pests, tell them apart from environmental issues, and then implement simple monitoring and record-keeping systems so that you can feel confident to take it on yourself. Why monitor? Monitoring is about understanding what really is happening in your crop. Regular monitoring helps you spot problems early, prevent pest outbreak, collect data to make informed and targeted management decisions, and evaluate the results of any pest control actions taken. By monitoring, growers can understand pest life cycles, identify early signs of infestations, act timely to prevent crop damage, and ultimately protecting their crop health and yield. Not every wilted leaf or blemish means you have a pest. Many symptoms are abiotic. Start by asking, is the damage uniform across the field or patchy? Is it on old leaves, new leaves, or both? Did it appear suddenly or gradually over time? Abiotic issues like sun scald, stress, and nutrient deficiencies often show uniform patterns, while pest and disease damage is usually patchier or more irregular. Recognizing these differences is the first step to accurate monitoring. Some of the common equipment needed is 10x magnification lens, a clipboard, data recording sheets, clips, posts, yellow sticky traps. In carrots, one of the main pests is the carrot rust fly. It is a weak flyer, so it tends to come in from field edges into the crop, just above crop canopy. To monitor for the fly, we put yellow sticky traps around the perimeter of the field. For small, narrow plantings, aim for 2 to 3 traps per planting. For larger fields, wider fields, aim for 4 to 6 traps, or if you want to use a rate per acre, use 2.5 to 5 traps per acre. Place the yellow sticky traps just above the canopy height, and then you want to place those traps as soon as the seedlings start to emerge, and then monitor weekly. Once you start seeing the flies on the traps, monitor twice weekly. Here is a carrot rust fly. To differentiate it from other flies, look for a reddish-brown head and long yellow legs. Record each trap location, when it was placed, and then when it was checked and collected. Count the number of flies on each trap and keep record of it on your data sheet. Use this information to compare it with the action threshold. We monitor for the adults and focus on this life stage for management. This will then avoid egg laying and damage from the larvae. To look for larvae and their damage, pull some sample plants, especially at the field edges, and inspect the roots for rust-colored tunnels. Document these findings, including if you see any predatory insects. Consistent records will help you decide when to act and will improve your monitoring in future seasons. For information on when and how to act, please refer to the BC Small Scale Farmers IPM Guide. Brassicas can be hit by several pests at once. Caterpillars like the diamondback moth, the imported cabbage worm, and the cabbage loopers are common troublemakers. Cabbage aphids, the crucifer flea beetles, and cabbage root maggots can also cause serious damage. Monitor for these insects and potential diseases of concern once a week. Make 1 to 2 passes through each planting. A pass involves starting at the end of a row, sampling the first set of plants, and then walking down the row, sampling plants at regular intervals to obtain a minimum of 5 samples per planting. At each sample, thoroughly inspect 5 plants when the plants are not yet touching, and 3 plants when the plants are touching, for a minimum of 15 to 25 plants per pass per planting. Now, let's take a deeper look at those caterpillars. Here are the life stages of the imported cabbage worm, the diamondback moth, and the cabbage looper. When you monitor, look for eggs, larvae, pupae, and signs of feeding. Eggs and pupae are not used to calculate the percentage of infestation, but they are a good way to understand the stage of the development you are at. Write down everything that you see, and then calculate the percentage of infested plants by dividing the number of plants with 1 or more caterpillars by the total number of plants sampled, and then you multiply by 100 to get a percentage. Compare your results with action thresholds to decide if it's time to control. Note that caterpillars are best controlled when larvae are small. For information on when to act, please refer to the BC Small Scale Farmers IPM Guide. In greenhouse cucumbers, small pests such as two-spotted spider mites and thrips can build up quickly and should be monitored weekly. Two-spotted spider mites cause yellow speckling and leave fine webbing on the leaves. Thrips leave silvery streaks and distorted growth. Here is an example of spider mites and their eggs. For spider mites, inspect the undersides of the leaves for the mites, the eggs, and signs of feeding damage. Make 1 to 2 passes through each planting, collecting 5 samples per pass, with each sample consisting of 5 leaves. Classify numbers as low, 1 to 5 per leaf, medium, 6 to 10, or high, more than 11. Using the same protocol described for mites, also look for thrips and keep record of the numbers. Predator numbers should also be recorded. There are many predators of mites and thrips, such as the minute parrot bugs, lacewings, and ladybugs. You may also choose to purchase and release predators to control mites and thrips in your greenhouse cucumbers. Keeping these records consistently each week will help you identify rising populations before they cause economic damage. For information on when to act, please refer to the BC Small Scale Farmers IPM Guide. If you cannot identify an issue in the field, a plant sample can be sent to the Plant Health Lab in Abbotsford for diagnosis. When submitting a sample, make sure it accurately represents the issue. The best option is to send an entire plant with roots and soil. If plants are small, include several. Avoid sending dead plants. Those that are declining are acceptable, but aim for the freshest samples possible. Package carefully and either deliver to the lab in person or send by mail. Pest monitoring can be simple. Keeping track of pest numbers over time will allow you to act when and where it is necessary, optimizing pesticide use, maximizing crop quality and yield, and creating a positive financial impact on your farm.